How the richest criminals made billions of dollars. As Woody Allen once said, organized crime in America takes in over $40 billion a year. This is quite a profitable sum, especially when one considers that the mafia spends very little for office supplies. At some point in our lives, we've been told that crime doesn't pay, and we probably believed this. However, the people on this list would beg to differ. They aren't your everyday criminals. They are the world's richest criminals who made billions of dollars doing illegal businesses. Who are they and how did they amass their fortune? Keep watching to find out. Before we go on, you should go ahead and give this video a thumbs up because you're definitely going to enjoy it. Now, let's move on. El Chapo. El Chapo is no doubt one of the most popular criminals of all time, rivaling other big names like Pablo Escobar. He was the leader of one of Mexico's top cartels, the Sinaloa cartel, and is reported to have been worth $1 billion. He started growing and selling marijuana as a kid, and as you expect, he graduated to smuggling not only marijuana, but all sorts of drugs, cocaine and heroin included. Drug users in Europe and America at his prime would have used some of his products. He was arrested and imprisoned twice in Mexico, and he managed to escape both times. He's now serving time in America. Al Capone. Al Capone is yet another famous name on this list. He's also known by his nickname, Scarface. He was a gambler who amassed a fortune of about $1.3 billion through several illegal businesses. He had his fingers in a lot of illegal pies like bootlegging, prostitution, and gambling. He's widely believed to be behind the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929. While he wasn't indicted for his other criminal activities, he was imprisoned for 6.5 years for tax evasion, ending his reign as a crime boss. He died in January 1947 from complications of heart failure. Leona Helmsley. Leona Helmsley is the only white-collar criminal on this list. She was nicknamed the Queen of Mean. Helmsley believed that only the little people pay taxes and that she was above tax laws. As you can expect, she was sentenced to prison for tax offenses. Her 16-year prison sentence ironically began on April 15th, which is tax day, but she only served 19 months. Helmsley and her husband were the owners of some prime pieces of real estate in New York, including the Empire State Building. She was worth $4 billion, and when she died in 2012, she left the sum of $12 million to a dog named Trouble. Carlos Lehder. Lehder was the co-founder of the Medellin cartel. His first forays into the world of crime were as a dealer of stolen cars and property, marijuana, and cocaine. He was known as the titan of the cocaine industry, and he was worth about $2.7 billion at the time of his arrest. Speaking of his arrest, there are a lot of speculations about how the authorities got a hold of him. Some people say that the members of his cartel wanted him out of the way, and some say that Pablo Escobar himself tipped the police about Lehder's location. He's imprisoned in the US, where he's serving a 55-year-long sentence. Khun Sa. The name Khun Sa translates to Prince Prosperous, and that is exactly what this man was. His drug empire was worth $5 billion. He was a general criminal though, and he spent a lot of money building and funding local hospitals and schools. He was known as the Opium King, and about half of the world's heroin supply in the 1970s to the 1990s came from him. He was worth about $5 billion. Even with a $2 million bounty on his head, the authorities still failed to arrest him because he was loved and protected by the people. He surrendered to Burmese authorities in 1996 with the condition that he be given government protection. He died in 2007 from unknown causes. Viktor Bout. Next we have Viktor Bout, with a net worth of about $6 billion. He made his money by being one of the most notorious arms dealers and smugglers in the world, earning himself the title of the Merchant of Death. He was arrested in Thailand in 2008 and was extradited to the USA, where he's currently serving jail time. Bout is multilingual, which no doubt helped him grow his business. He was formerly in the Soviet Armed Forces, where it is suspected that he first started building his business. Bout has supplied arms to a lot of factions fighting inside countries, leading the USA to declare him a terrorist. Amado Fuentes. Next, we have Amado Fuentes, also a drug lord. Fuentes worked with Pablo Escobar to smuggle cocaine from Colombia into America and Mexico. He built a successful multi-billion-dollar drug empire and made himself a tidy net worth of about $25 billion from his drug business. Unlike a lot of other criminals on this list, Fuentes managed to evade the authorities all his life. In 1997, he died while undergoing plastic surgery to alter his appearance because he was a heavily hunted man. The plastic surgeons who worked on him were found dead not long after, and they showed visible signs of torture. Pablo Escobar. At the top of this list, we have Pablo Escobar, who is arguably one of the most popular, if not the most popular, criminal of all time. Almost everybody alive today has heard his name, partially due to the many films made about him and his cartel. Escobar was born on the 1st of December 1949 and grew up in the city of Medellin, after which he named his cartel. During his drug smuggling years, he was dubbed the King of Cocaine and was one of the richest people in the world at age 35. He was responsible for smuggling about 80% of America's cocaine in the 1980s. While his actual net worth is unknown, it's estimated to be a staggering $30 billion, as he had a weekly income of around $420 million. What do you think? These people made a vast fortune from the world of crime. Apart from being criminals, they also became some of the richest and most popular people in the world. What do you think about these criminals? Do you think they got the kind of punishment they deserve? Let us know in the comments below. All of these people were criminals and made their lives on the wrong side of the law. However, some of them did help the poor people in their communities. And some people think of them as twisted versions of Robin Hood. So going by our scale where 1 is refusing to tip and 100 is killing a person, we give these criminals an 85. How would you rate them? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. See you next time.